Warning, this is probably going to be the most disjointed, rambling review that I've ever done on a classic album that's been re-released on this channel. But don't blame me, blame the Eagles. Well, maybe you can blame me a little bit. Hey everybody, this is TJR. Over this last weekend, the 40th anniversary edition of the Eagles' Hotel California album was released. This 40th anniversary edition was done in 3 different formats. It was released as both a single CD version, as a 2 CD version, and as a deluxe edition with 3 discs in it. And I'll talk more about the deluxe edition in a moment. Hotel California is, of course, the seminal album by the Eagles. It is their masterpiece. It is their Sgt. Pepper album. And if you talk about the Eagles and their music, there's a good possibility that you might get your video taken down by them. I know this from experience. I loved the song Lion Eyes so much that I did a very in-depth analysis of that song and musically took it apart and then reconstructed it, just talking about it, not even playing any of the music from it, and just talking about it to prove how amazing the song was. That video was taken down by the Eagles. I had to work with Universal Music Group Publishing, which handles their copyrights, to get the video back. I want to state for the record that the folks from Universal Music Group were fantastic to work with. They were very cooperative. They really helped me. They were very patient with me. It still took us months to get to where whoever it is that handles, who's the Eagles people, finally deigned to watch the video and realize that I wasn't violating their copyright and allowed it to be put back on YouTube. And so that was a real experience for me. Later on, when it was announced that the 40th anniversary edition of Hotel California was going to be coming out, I made a video, silly me, I made a video actually talking about the release and how it was going to be released and, you know, basically publicizing it for them. And that video got taken down as a quote-unquote copyright violation. It's not, of course. You can talk about music on the internet. I had to, of course, fight to get that one back, and I got that video back. And I had decided that I would go ahead and order this 40th anniversary edition so that I could review it. I made the choice to order the 2 CD set. I felt that the 3 CD set, or I should say 3 disc set, was too expensive. It was $89.99. It features the 2 CDs that are on the 2 CD set, which features the album, of course, the original album remastered, and the second CD would be a live concert from the time period. This 3 disc set would feature both those CDs and a Blu-ray disc with, quote, new Blu-ray remixes of the original album. It came with some extra gewgaws, a book, and a replication of the tour program, and a replication of some tour posters, which is nice. But for me, the real attraction was that Blu-ray. Had they released just the Blu-ray, I would have definitely bought that, definitely, to get that Blu-ray audio, because that was a complete remix of the album, and I would have been very excited to hear that. One thing that I kept thinking about as I looked at this is they kept saying a remastered version of the album, but they never stated this was a new remaster. This album has been remastered in the past, and quite often they usually always state a new remaster, but it's been remastered in the past. I'm not sure that a new remaster is really going to make that much of a difference, to be honest. And more now, when I'm seeing an album re-released or a catalog re-released in a special edition format, they're stating that this is not a new remaster. This happened with the recent re-release of the Black Sabbath catalog. They re-released the entire original catalog when Ozzy Osbourne was in the band, with expanded packaging, expanded liner notes. But the album itself was a previous remaster, and they very clearly stated that in the press materials and in the advertising. You weren't getting a new remaster. Some of the editions, some of the albums came with a second disc of bonus material, of course, which is all brand new. This was also true of the recent Queen box set for News of the World that just came out. The actual album, News of the World, is not a new remastering. It's from a couple years ago. Of course, there's extra discs, you know, that sort of thing, extra gewgaws, but the album itself is not a new remastering. Another thing that makes me feel that this is not a new remaster is the fact that there was no re-release of the vinyl version of the album to go along with this 40th anniversary edition. I would feel that if they had really remastered it, they'd also do a re-release of the vinyl, but they didn't. So I figured I'd get the 2 CD version. It was going to be arriving in a few days. I pre-ordered it, and then I thought to myself, wait a minute. You know, these guys have shot down my video where I talk about how great Lion Eyes is. They've shot down my video where I actually publicized their upcoming release. I thought, why do I want to give them any more of my money? So I canceled my pre-order. So for the first time, I'm going to review an album release that I don't physically have. I always like to have a physical copy so that I can show it, so I can talk about how it's packaged, what it came with, what it didn't come with. But in this case, I'm just not going to do that. And I, of course, would have liked to have taken the CD of this new 40th anniversary release and compared it to my previous CD version and listened and see if I noticed any difference. I'm not going to be able to do that. The version I heard on Tidal, which is the subscription service I like to use, sounded fantastic, of course, and I got to hear it on Tidal Hi-Fi, which is their high-end, high-definition audio service. It sounded great, I thought. However, I couldn't really make a fair comparison. I tried putting in the CD that I had and comparing it in the car while I listened to it in Tidal. I didn't hear too much difference, to be honest. So who knows as far as that. But I don't feel it's a fair comparison because you have to like go from CD to CD to really, I think, to really tell. And you have to listen to it on the same exact system before you can tell. But what I can talk about is the second disc, which is the live concert. This live concert is absolutely fantastic. As a musician, I really liked being able to hear how the Eagles covered their own songs without all the studio overdubs that they did. When you listen to New Kid in Town, especially Hotel California, there are some amazing studio overdubs, textures that are created that just add so much to that song that you don't always necessarily hear, but you feel it. And you have to really listen closely and attentively to really distinguish it and hear it, but it's all there. And so I kind of wondered, okay, how will they handle this when they don't have all, they can't do the overdubs. It's just them, the band, doing it. Now, of course, they were larger than your average 4-piece band, but even still, they could only do so much. They did this brilliantly. I mean, they really did an excellent job of arranging their songs to fit within their group, and the way they handle the backup vocals is just so spot on perfect. Their musicianship, so spot on perfect. I can't say enough about what a tremendous group of musicians this was at this time. How well they played together live. How well they harmonized together live. Now, I'm not saying they're not good now live, but it's a different group of players now, and they're great now too. But at this time period, just how amazing they were. I was really knocked out by this live disc. And I didn't feel they were overcharging for the 2 CD version. Most places it was $14.99. I happened to notice that at BestBuy.com here in the United States it was $13.99. And I was still very tempted to buy it just because I was so impressed with that live disc. And I thought, yeah, I can always get rid of my old version and upgrade it to this. And that was initially what I thought I'd do. I'd just upgrade. Now about that deluxe edition. I regret that I couldn't buy the deluxe edition because the Blu-ray features 3 Blu-ray high-definition audio stereo remixes. But to me, a new remix of this album in high-definition Blu-ray is very exciting. And I personally would have loved to have gotten my hands on that. But $89 and $89.99, so $90, you know, for 2 CDs and a Blu-ray. Yes, I know you get a book. Yes, you get the replication of the tour program and a replication of some posters. But to me, that's fine. That's good. But the main attraction for me is actually the audio. And I felt it was a bit too much for that. Maybe at some point they'll re-release it, just the Blu-ray of that, and if they do, I'm on it. I'll probably will get that because that just can't be had anywhere else. And I realize now I'm actually saying I'm going to buy something from them after I said I wouldn't give them any more of my money. I'm being spontaneous during this video, as you can tell. Who knows, maybe I'll talk myself out of it once it does come up. But right now that it's not available, I'm saying I will get it. But at any rate, though, I felt it was a little overpriced. I know I'm not the only one. A number of other people, I think, expressed that opinion on the internet, that they felt it was a little too overpriced for 3 discs. You know, you compare that to the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper, which came with a whole bunch of discs. It came with Blu-ray, came with DVD, came with discs filled with studio outtakes, came with a big hardcover book. You know, just you got a lot for that $100, $112 you spent on it. If you bought it when it was on sale, when it first was available for pre-order, you probably spent less than $120 for it. So that was really worthwhile, that particular edition. But for $90 for 3 discs, I don't know. At any rate, though, maybe they will release that Blu-ray as just a separate release, and who knows, we'll see what happens. At any rate, though, if anybody out there has purchased the deluxe edition and would like to comment on the Blu-ray, please do so here in the comments. If you've posted a video, please leave a link for your video. Funny little side note. While doing some internet research on this re-release, I came across the following. How many of you are aware of the album Hotel California by Tyga? I am not making this up. This album really does exist. I know you're buying a copy right now. And who could forget Hotel California by the Stan Lefieri Trio? Lefieri, who knows? Do the Eagles know about this? I'm surprised they haven't tried to stop these from coming out. But who knows, maybe you can't copyright an album title. Would that be true? I know you can't copyright a song title, but can you copyright an album title? Does that mean I can release an album called Sgt. Pepper? Be curious to know. And of course, for that matter, the Eagles are probably going to take down this video too. Let's see what happens. At any rate, though, have you checked out this 40th Anniversary Edition re-release? And if so, what edition did you get? Please tell us about it. Also, if you got the Blu-ray, please tell us about that. I really want to know. And if you did a video review of the Blu-ray, leave your link so that we can, all check it out. Thanks, everybody, for watching this very strange and unusual video review of this album. Take care. Blame the Eagles, okay? I would have bought it. Bye, everybody.